right, welcome back. We're on to the next part of our sewing themed journal. So this one is the Traveler's Notebook size, and I've got some fabric here that I want to use for the inside cover. So I believe Donna sent this to me. Thank you, Donna. I noticed on the selvage that it was made for Joann's, so I'm presuming that it's still widely available, and if this really turned your crank, you can go to Joann's and get a chunk. But I mean, you could use any fabric or you could use any paper. I had another fabric that I was kind of humming and hawing about. So it has little pins and samples of fabrics, of tweed and pinstripe, that kind of thing. I thought that was pretty. I'm going to save that for another project though. So because I'm going to use this as a pocket, I don't need to put fabric on the back of that. I don't really need to put too much fabric this way either, but I am going to use Mod Podge. You don't have to use Mod Podge. You can use glue stick. You can use Fabri-Tac if you spread it really, really thin so that it doesn't leak up through. You could use like an iron-on sort of, like, gosh, what's that called? Like a two-sided interfacing. So you could iron interfacing to the fabric, then peel off the other side of the paper and then iron it on to your background. There's lots of ways that you could do that. So I am actually using fabric Mod Podge, which is definitely not necessary, but I happened to get this for free recently. It was, remember a couple of videos ago I said I went to somebody who had said they had a whole bunch of stuff out for free. They were moving and all the stuff was out on their front lawn. Yeah, this brand new jar of fabric Mod Podge was in it. So I'm just putting a little bit. And I'm just going to overhang a little. Up. Try that again. Overhang just a little bit, and then I can trim it off after it's dry. The part I find the hardest is choosing the papers. I don't know why I find that so challenging, but I do. So you might be thinking, this cover is kind of challenging, Nancy. I did press this fabric so that there's no folds in it. I'm filming this ahead, of course, so I haven't got any updates for you. I'm trusting that all is well with the world, and okay. And like I said, I'm going to cut part of that away because I don't need it to go all the way inside that pocket. Just enough so that it doesn't show. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside to dry. Now, for this one, I am going to use an old book. So that is slightly larger than the pattern. Like I will be cutting the pattern down. It's still got a margin around it of the file folder. Oh, so I will be trimming that down. But in the meantime, I'll grab a knife. See what we can do to pull the guts out. Ugh. Okay. Just gonna chop this bit out. Okay. Woo! So this one doesn't have a terribly large spine, but that's okay. I could have chosen a different book with a much larger spine, or I could have cut the spine right off and built my own spine. This spine is about 3/4 of an inch. I'm just going to jot that down. Okay. I chose this light colored book because I don't want it to show through the fabric. However, if you have a darker book, you may want to consider covering it with paper first, or painting it. Now I am concerned about the title showing, so I'm just going to grab a piece of white paper. You would think it would be easy to lay my fingers on a piece of white paper, but it's not. Oh. What's this? Oh, it's fine paper. Oh, I'll just use a piece of copy paper from my printer. So it won't give 100% coverage, but it'll help. I had to look at that to see if I would use it or not. So I believe fabric Mod Podge is meant if you want to glue an applique to like another textile, and then then it's washable afterwards. I don't know. That's what it sounded like from the directions anyway. Whoops. Okay, so I don't know for sure that that would have showed through, but might as well be safe than sorry. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to use this fabric. And again, this is, oops, it says it was made exclusively for Joann's, so. This isn't sticking the paper down very good. Might need to take that off and put fabric there. Yeah, the edges just weren't sticking down very good at all. I felt like I'd put lots on. Didn't you think I put lots on? Okay. I just tore this piece of cotton. Put that down instead. There we go. Perfect, 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 perfect. Okay, I'm going to start at the front. Put an even coat of this Mod Podge on. And I want to make sure that I get it on there squarely because there's actually squares. Okay. So far, so good. And I've left, a good inch and a half overhang on all edges, on all the edges. Just making sure I don't have any wrinkles. I'm just going to turn this a bit. Now we're at the dent part. So I want to make sure I get right down in the dents, the little indents at the edge of the spine. I'm just using my bone folder to get right in there. Double check. It doesn't feel like it's sticking right here. I'm going to pull it back again. That's better. This is gonna probably need some extra drying time. Sorry, I just got a little closer to me to really shove that in there. And I'm going to seal it so I don't pull it out again. There we go. Okay. Give it another turn. Whoop. Might have a little too much there. Okay. Now, I'm just sealing the fabric where it's glued. And I'll let this dry, and then when it's dry, I'll flip it over and miter the corners and glue the edge on the other side. One. But not bad for having never used this product before. Okay. I think that's going to be just fine. So, I'm going to let those things dry for the time being. And next video, we'll come back and do a little more work on the cover. All right, you take care. We'll talk to you again soon.